Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call in for this Sunday, March 1st, 2026. What's going on, you guys? Wow, I'm listening to the playback. It sounds a little weird. My audio sound a little weird to you guys? Yeah. Weird stuff, man. These people keep messing with me, man. I did some stuff behind the scenes to try to straighten it up. What the hell? For anybody that's over there on Rumble, let me know how it sounds over on Rumble. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Let me know what it's like now, family. Audio check, audio check. Okay, great. We back. Appreciate that, Del Real. Yeah. All I did was restart the app, and but you see how it's like I had just done a video for my premiere for tomorrow morning, and it's like everything was okay, but here we go, you know. But welcome everybody. I hope that you are off to a positive start this morning. You were awakened with your right frame of mind. We back, you know, for another Answering the Bell. This is number 195 in the series of Answering the Bell. And our Sunday morning call in where we'll feature conversation about our beloved sport of boxing. We've had this weekend a myriad of fight cards that brought us through from Friday night all the way through today. And a lot of it was quite entertaining. Last night's main card featured in the main event a unification for the super featherweight division between Emmanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Nunez, a fight that was touted as a fight that would see the new king of Mexico. Okay, and it ended with Navarrete scoring a 10th round TKO stoppage over Nunez, who couldn't continue after ending the 9th round with his eye swollen shut, his right eye. And he's starting off with a horrible game plan of moving away from Navarrete, ensuring that Navarrete jumped off to at least a 5-round lead in the fight as far as scoring. So it was quite an uphill battle for him to try to climb back into the fight, as we saw Emmanuel dictate the tempo and give him a boxing lesson as well as a beating. So Sugar Nunez needs to go sit down somewhere and study a new playbook. Because if he thought he was going to come in there against that world titleist and do what he did last night and be successful, he thought wrong. But then we had, for Friday night, ProBox TV returned with some of their outstanding fight cards. And this was another banger for them, as we saw in the main event for ProBox. We saw the return to the ring Oh boy, I was looking at something. Pardon me, fam. I was just looking over my scorecards. We saw the return to the ring of Vasquez, where Edward Vasquez, I talked about him having fought the likes of Joe Cordina, Ray Ford, and Espinoza. And though he was only stopped by Espinoza, his other fights, they were close fights. Majority decision, split decision losses. Edward Vasquez is a good fighter. And he had a chance to really show that. And his performance Friday night really saw him do some great things. So it's always nice to see a fighter who has come back from being counted out, so to speak, or a guy that may have dropped a fight or two and people kind of are dismissive. But as I've said so many times, boxing is one of the few sports where you can suffer losses and still come back strong, because the make of order is not built upon you losing a fight, but it's about your resiliency and coming back from adversity. Yeah. It makes a difference. Only the short-sighted would look at fighters and be like, you know what? This guy is done. Unless it's a fighter who has kind of been around a little too long in the sport and is now on his heels and long in the tooth, as they would say. But there are plenty of fighters out here, man. You give them a chance and you give them opportunity to get prepared, and they can come and show you what's up. Yeah. So that's the state that we're in when it comes to our beloved sport of boxing. And we saw Edward come in on Friday night, do his thing. Yeah. I was looking at my scorecards and I was trying to figure out, how did I have my dates mixed up? Yeah. But we got some good stuff coming up. I mean, boxing is in a very good place right now. Very good place. I want to say salute to my brother EJ over there in the Rumble app. He says, my favorite day of the week, answering the bell with Stormybman. Heavyweight. Who the next sucker getting the infamous F+? Get to the back of the class. Sensei, your knowledge and wisdom is greatly appreciated. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Hey, how you enjoying that mug, huh? That Stormybman mug. The brother Ray M just bought a hoodie from the A Weapons site. I told him he's gonna enjoy it when he gets it. He's gonna really like it. But EJ, how you like that that Stormybman mug? Yeah, so we've had a lot of action going down. A lot of action going down, man. Audio being off a little bit this morning kind of threw me off of my rhythm. I wanted to get to the roll call. Antonio MMA is out there. Appreciate you. There was somebody above you, but my pinned link is blocking me. I can't see who that is up there. Somebody that says hashtag Team Petty, hashtag DHP. Who was that? EJ doing double duty in both chats. Universal Truth is out there. Taiwaka Butu says Grand Rising Soldier. Good morning to you. Jimmy Bernard is back with us. What's going on? Columbia's out there. Appreciate you dropping those links for us. And scroll down and see who else we got. Del Riv in the building. The real Shelton, Mr. Shelton out there. Who else we got? Jose Diaz in the building this morning. What's good with you, Jose? All right. Clarence McLean in the building. What's going on, Clarence? How you doing this Sunday morning? Yes, sir. We're going to get ready to open it up. So we can talk our good sport of boxing this morning, our beloved sport. And for those of you who have yet to do so, follow me over there on Rumble, man, because some of these materials will be direct to Rumble. Like my Turning the Page in Boxing History show. You know, I haven't done that in a while, right? That's going to be a Rumble exclusive going forward now. I tell you that now, because I can show the content and I ain't got to worry about these folks coming around talking about, oh, copyright. Oh, you know, you can't, it's not licensed. And this, man, if you don't get out of my face. Yeah. So that show will be making a return this week. Yeah. As I do a feature on Larry Holmes and Ronaldo Snipes. Yeah. How about that, huh? A great return for Turning the Page in boxing history. That's how we're going to do it. A Rumble exclusive. Yeah. Oh, that's right, EJ. You said your dad had hijacked your mug, right? He says, I'm going to have to buy another one. My dad won't give my mug back. He told me that I got robbed. Well, I can tell you one thing, EJ. What he did was he probably put a cold beverage in there or a hot beverage and found out that the doggone mug is pretty darn good, man, because it holds temperature great. I love my mug, man, and anyone that's bought that mug is happy with it, I can guarantee you. satisfaction or your money back. But yeah, that's a pretty darn good mug, man. Nice looking too, glossy, and got my little, Stormybman emblem on there and everything. Well designed, if I do say so myself. Yeah. Shoot, next weekend we going into Zuffa 4, you guys. That'll be Jai Opataya taking on Glanton. Listen, Dana White's doing it, y'all. Dana White is doing it. What can we say? My eyelashes are kind of long. I got an eyelash that keeps dropping in on my eyeball. It irritates. It itches. Anyway. EJ says the shirt is phenomenal and mug. Clarence McLean, my dad robbed my mug though. I'm taking major L's. Yeah, Clarence, don't be shy, man. Go on, get you some of that Stormybman merchandise, man. It's quality stuff, and you know what it is, cause you got a particular audience, man. Let them know that you supporting Stormybman. That's right, by wearing the brand. It wears well. Some of you guys, see, like Stormy got a little bit of a stomach on him or whatever. And I'm proud of my stomach. I earned it. You know what I'm saying? You guys that want to try to stay cut and in shape and all that, you can buy a medium. You know what I'm saying? Where it hug your body and all of that. But I don't like nothing hugging me except for my woman. You know, it's like all that other stuff, skinny jeans and all that. Y'all can have all that foolishness. Huh? No. As Morris Day in the Time used to say, ain't nothing like a fresh pair of baggies, huh? Yeah! See, some of y'all new school dudes don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that. So. Yeah, get you one of them shirts, man. Get you a fitted, bucket cap. You be all ready, man, for when the sun come out, huh? You know, some of them, they don't like to be out in the sun. They like to come out in the dark because they doing the nefarious things. But that's okay. That's a whole different story within itself. Wait until the sun go down, huh? There's a reason they got them sundown towns, because y'all ninjas don't know how to act when the sun go down. Coming into people's houses and stuff. It's like, man, you don't live here. Just gonna walk in somebody's back door. Or trying to check to see if the basement window is open or something. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Gonna get you a taste of some hot steel, huh? The kind that burn your flesh and leave holes in it. That'll learn you. Have y'all seen that TikTok video where it looked like the dude was trying to come over the wall of somebody's backyard, and it's a camera right there showing, because there's a doorway like a gate door for the backyard, and it's a big tree right there. But the dude tried to climb over the wall, but there's a dog waiting on his ass. And when he go down the wall, the dog is right there. And that song, "This nigga's dead, y'all." Man, let me tell you something. I must have watched that thing about 10 times. That dude tried to get back over the wall. The dog grabbed him by the butt and was pulling him. He tried to. He almost got up the wall, and the video ends when he loses his grip on the wall and he falling back down, and the dog got his ass. Man, let me tell you something. I was laughing so hard. I'm still laughing at that thing, man. And I saw that about what? It was about 2 months ago. I saw it for the first time. But listen, man. Anybody in there seen that video? But that song is funny though, ain't it? EJ, the lady sing, "This nigga's dead, y'all." And he fell over that wall in their yard, and that dog was waiting right on his ass. It gave a whole new meaning to cat burglar, huh? Because dogs don't like cats either. And he jumped right out of the skillet into the fire. Boy. Now you see, you know you done fucked up. Yeah. If he's still alive, you know, he may be, but he probably got some chew marks in his ass, though. Especially in the ass area, because when he tried to go back over that wall, that dog grabbed him right in the split of his ass and pulled him back down in that yard. I was rolling, boy. I was like, "Get him, Fang!" Yeah. Welcome down, Van Houder. What's good with you, man? Good to see you out there this morning. Happy Sunday to you. So I see y'all laughing out there. So y'all seen that video too, right? I mean, it's probably been out much longer than I've seen it, but when I saw it, man, I was like, I was gonna clip it and put it on here for just you know how I show funny clips sometimes, just to have it on here. But that damn song is funny too, man. I done seen somebody put that song to a dude falling over a wall, like it's like he was trying to do some what do you call that? That what they call that? Parquet? What do they call that? Parker? When they doing all the flips and stuff. And he flipped and fell off a wall. This nigga's dead, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Walk him down. That parkour. There you go. Parkour. Man. Yeah. And then there was a preacher in the church standing up there talking about, and I say that, and he's like, and if I'm lying, may the Lord, and before he could finish his words, the big old thing fell off the wall and hit him, and he went to the floor. I don't know if he died, but that song was perfect. That thing hit that dude in the head. Boom! I was like, oh my goodness. I was rolling, man. Yeah, EJ with that donation, he said that song always get me rolling. And on some of these, they have that Mortal Kombat fatality. Yeah. But see, listen. It's one thing to get caught on video. Because, cameras are everywhere now. But when you're just doing dumb stuff and it still get caught on video, you deserve to be laughed at. It's like, what are you doing this dumb stuff for, man? Huh? Walker Down says, I'm waiting for Mozzie to KO someone clean, then I'm going to put that song with it. Yeah, it's gonna go well. That's a great pairing, I tell you. Joseph Townsend, what's good with you, man? Ravens Nation, what's happening? Man. But isn't it funny though? It's like some people come up with this editing stuff, man. It's like, we need some things to laugh at. But that dog getting that dude trying to be a cat burglar coming into their yard, that was perfect. And the dog bit him right in the split of his behind. That dog was like, you ain't going nowhere, sucker. He grabbed him and pulled him off of that wall. And as he was falling in slow motion, the video stopped. I was like, man, I want to see the good part. I was like, I was waiting for this. This is the payoff, the money moment, Man, that sucker. My brother Drew Titan in the building. What's good with you, man? Boy. Yeah, walk him down. Listen, the part 2 might be old boy going into the zipping up a body bag or something. That's man. Hey Drew, we talking about them videos where that song, This Nigga's Dead, y'all, when they be playing. I think I sent you a couple of them. The one with the dog catching the dude going over the wall, that's the one I opened up talking about there, Drew. Man, that thing is so funny to me, man. I could just watch that on loop. Or that guy that was in he was like in a safari and he was on the back of that Jeep and the lion came walking up. He was sitting up there looking out into the terrain and everything. He's sitting right on the back of the Jeep. Everybody else inside the Jeep. That lion come walking and looked over at old boy like, that lion looked up at him and said, dinner's served. Man. Yeah, man. Mr. Van Houten, I tell you, bro, listen, some of those things, I mean, like, you know, I don't be looking for that stuff, but when it happens, I can't control my laughter, man. That lion bit that dude right in his private part and pulled him off the Jeep. I was like, whoa! He came and went at the same time. He came and went at the same time. All for some cat. Man, let me stop, bro. Let me stop. I'm a fool, man. Boy, I tell you, some of that stuff is just but boxing, please. Hey guys, we got the lines open. Let's somebody call in and let's have a boxing conversation. Huh? Let's have a boxing conversation this morning. Yeah, Joe Townsend, definitely. You see that video, man? Oh, girl, she broke out. This nigga's dead, y'all. Man, just to make the song is funny too, right? It's like, who thought of that shit? But I'm gonna tell you something. That's the kind of stuff we used to do when I was in school, coming up, high school and stuff. Man, we used to crack jokes and stuff on people, man, making up songs and shit. Man, I can't tell you, that got me through school. I'm gonna tell you, you know? Yeah. I was one of the few, I could do my work and still be tripping and having good fun. Some people couldn't separate the two. They'd just be like flunking out because too much horseplay. Yeah, buddy. Nobody want to talk no boxing this morning? Come on now. Says we got about 12 people out there. I know somebody want to talk some boxing with me. Let me double check and make sure my line is good. Okay, I just refreshed the line, y'all. So if someone tried to call, it was probably because the line needed to be refreshed. So I just refreshed it. So if someone wants to call now, we should get through with no problem. EJ says over in the Rumble, he says, the more you funk around, the more you're going to find out. He said, Lion was, thank the Lord for dinner. Yeah, man, that Lion had that dude. That was wild. Coach Hudson in the building. What's good with you, Coach? I was listening to you before I went live, man. You were stirring up quite a sermon this morning, brother. Yes, you were. Appreciate your work that you do over there, man. Okay, we got 347 in the building. That's my brother Drew Titan. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Doing pretty good this morning.
Yeah, man. Had some really that was a solid event last night, wasn't it?
What was that?
That was a solid event last night, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the past even Friday night's Pro Box TV's cars, they were great too. It's like, hey man, you know, and I know you got something you want to say, but I'll just start off by saying this. You know, a couple of years ago, when Turkey first put on his first like 2 to 3 events, and he was giving us those advertisements like trailers and stuff like that, the one thing we said was that this is going to force a lot of these promoters just to put on better events, because you can't be putting on these one-sided shows where the house guy is just running through somebody with, you know, to pad his record and stats. And I'd be darned if that hasn't happened, right? It's like, even like when you go down to Pro Box might have some guys that you don't even know, or guys that may have challenged for a world title and come up short or whatever. But dude, these are some competitive bouts. You cannot deny that. And they are incentive laden as well. They get bonuses for the night, a fight of the night, knockout of the night, and stuff like that. That's great stuff, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was telling you, it takes me back to the days of, Tuesday night fights, Friday night fights. A lot of you guys don't know, man, fights used to come on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That was a school night for me, man. I used to try and finish my homework fast so I could go to my room and, USA Network. I used to watch things like that, man. I mean, so we're getting back in the frame of mind where, boxing is accessible and it can become a part of the steady diet, at least in American audiences, if you guys have the attention span for it. I mean, if you're a fanboy of a particular fighter, then, follow that fighter. I follow the sport. But when people say, oh, the sport is so lame and it's dead, it's not that. There's a lot of activity. You're not paying attention. You don't like the sport. You like a fighter. You just say what it is.
Yeah.
Say what it is. And I will allow you to come to my platform and defend him. If you don't watch boxing, you watch him. And that's gay. That's gay. So, that's the type of time I'm on. Real quick. Well, I'll talk to you behind the scenes about that. Something happened last night with one of our brothers that had a match last night. Mm-hmm. But I spoke to him. I'm talking about Elijah.
Yeah.
Spoke to him this morning for a while. And, a lot of things happened behind the scenes he didn't talk to me about until last night. Well, this morning, actually. And I'll just say that Rachel was right. And her name came up, and he was like, yo, remember what she said that night? And she was right. But it's a blessing in disguise. And I had to put that into perspective for him. But, I'll talk to you about that behind the scenes. But he's good. Everything's good. He's all right.
Yeah.
Not Roddy, man. I want to... Look, man. He is the most awkward and ridiculous-looking fighter. And you're looking at it like, how is this even working?
Yeah.
But it works.
He's the Mexican version of the Drunken Master, right? It's like...
Yeah, Emmanuel Augustus.
Yeah, he's unorthodox, and it's still really a beatable type guy, because what I've talked about, and this has been my philosophy, even when coaching, when you have guys who are very unorthodox, the counter to that is to be extremely proficient and technical.
Right.
Because what do they always tell you in other sports and activities? Rely on your basis, your foundation. Because the foundation exists for you to be able to deal with troubled waters. Does that not make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But see, people try to reinvent the wheel all the time. And like I say, this applies to life as well as we're talking about the sport of boxing. When a guy is very unorthodox, you have to be very orthodox. You have to be acutely dialed in, because when you recognize the things that he's doing that are weird and odd and things like that, there's a counter to that. And so you wait and exercise patience, but it starts with your studying who you're going to be in there with. Remember, I told you the story about my buddy Derek when he was going to fight Roy Jones. And I told him, I said, Roy don't like contact at all. He likes to leap in and dive in with his quickness. He's relying on his physicality, his physical attributes. And because he has speed, you know that that's going to happen. So how is speed measured? Speed is measured over a distance. It's not measured in short range. So that means you got to get closer to him to take the speed away. I said he likes to drop his left hand because he wants to throw a hook off of you coming within a certain distance. So when he drops the left hand, or he sticks it out there like as a rangefinder, hit that arm. Hit it. That's a bridge. The fact that he's extended it, that gives you, that's like a rope. He handed you a rope to pull in and get closer to him. So you hit the arm to the degree that now he's not going to do that no more. He's going to keep it down low, because when you keep it down low, you can't hit it. But when he keeps it low, you can get that much closer. But you have to use your footwork to do it. Now you know you're going to leap with a shot. So there are things you do. You hit that shoulder. You hit that shoulder now, because remember, the arm's been dropped. You hit the shoulder because that disrupts his timing. But again, yeah. But see, like there may be people out there listening right now and they're like, man, what is this guy talking about? Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. In fact, George Foreman, and I told you that story, during that broadcast, said what Derek was doing tactically to Roy was very good, and it's an old school technique. And he said a lot of good things can happen behind doing what he was doing. That was George Foreman, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, sitting ringside calling that fight with Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley. And I told Derek about that way before when he let me know that they were going to have the match. I was like, yeah, there's some things that you should be able to do straight away. And I'm not ashamed to say that. You know, he'll tell anybody that's listening himself that, yeah, Stormy told me those things. But it requires you being disciplined to, you know, you have a game plan. You have to believe in your game plan. You can't deviate from it, you know. I remember Bruce Lee once was talking about people fighting in a street fight. He said you could have two combatants there fighting, and if one person makes up his mind that he's going to bite the other guy's nose off, there's a great chance that he could be successful, because in his mind, that's his determined action that he's going to do. The other guy has no idea of what his plan is. So just imagine if the guy did know what his plans is, he'd make sure the guy wouldn't get close to his face, right? So he can do these things.
Right.
But the whole point is you don't project, this is what I'm going to do. You surprise them with giving them something else to put on their mind while you do what your intention truly was. Navarrete last night, when he was dealing with Nunez took his own strength away from himself by moving away from the guy for the first 4.5, 5 rounds. What the hell are you doing, son? Your natural attribute, your natural attribute is your punching power and strength coming forward. Why are you going backwards? And he wasn't going backwards because Navarrete was pushing him back. It was a strategic thing that he did until you saw, like round 6, he started fighting aggressive because the corner was probably telling him now, man, you done gave away too many rounds. Now you got to go fight him.
Yeah. And then when he closed the distance, then he found out he could fight on the inside.
Yeah. But he had also had sustained the damage of Navarrete damaging him at range. Meaning like the cut on his eye and all that stuff, that came from when he was catching him, coming in and stuff.
Navarrete was doing this weird stutter step, and every time he did it, Nunez jumped. I said, why are you buying that feint? He had him trained from round 2.
Yeah.
He got a stutter step. He had him popping off the feint. I couldn't believe Navarrete would put this slow jab out and he'd leave it out there. And for a split second, I'm wondering, why is he not punching over that lazy jab? And then it dawned on me. I said, oh, he's waiting for him to do that, so he can hit it with his right.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so simple. I'm looking at it, I said, man, this way is around this. He has to close the distance. What he needed to do with Navarrete, he needed to establish respect from round 1. Close that distance, bang him to the body, make it a dogfight. Make it a dogfight, because those are his strengths, man. I said in my video, he looked like one of those NBA Jam characters. You know, when you play on big head mode?
Yeah.
He's a small dude. He's a very small dude with small arms, but he's powerful. He needs to close that distance. But one thing that I did hear that the camp did, Navarrete took this very serious. He had a dietitian.
Yeah, absolutely.
In his camp. And his body looked a lot, it showed. His body looked very different than it looked in previous fights. And the love handles, I mean, look, he's Mexican. They're built a certain way, a lot of them. And they'll never be, a lot of them will never be like Adonises or the Adonises, like Oscar says it. But I saw he was, to his genetic makeup, he was in shape, and it wasn't like a Ped's makeup.
No, he had energy.
You could tell that was all diet.
He had energy, and that was due to he probably ate well and everything. But see, again, I had talked about that in my breakdown video too. I was like, if the guy decides to, knowing that this is supposed to be a formidable opponent, he's gonna, if he decides to apply himself and come in a different mindset and everything than he normally does, because he had fallen into kind of a rut of maybe he was a little disinterested due to lack of threats and stuff like that, and you know, he was cutting corners. But you could see last night that he never got tired from the activity that he was putting out. In other words, he didn't feel worn out and punch himself out and things like that. And also he proved to me my point of what I said about guys with reach and long advantages like that with their extremities being able to throw short punches. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was killing him with those short shots.
The guy with the longer reach, man, that inside fighting was something. Every hook landed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every hook landed. So when the distance was closed, now his eyes shut. Nunez's eyes shut. So now he's trying to make it a dog fight, and then it's like, oh crap, this guy could throw hooks on the inside? And all those hooks landed. He was outmatched. This fight wasn't even close. He was outmatched, man. This was a great job by Navarrete. He showed a high IQ. It looks crazy when we look at it because somebody did say something that had me laughing before I muted the TV. I think it was Mannix. He said a fighter told him that Navarrete fights like a guy that's supposed to have 12 losses. Meaning, when you're looking at it, you're like, who the hell is this and why? But then you look at the record, you look at the accomplishments, and then you look at the damage that he did to Sugar Nunez. You're like, oh, but how the hell is he doing that? It's literally like walking on water. You're not supposed to do that, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. But for some reason, it's effective. And I knew it because on paper, you could have thought, remember when he fought Oscar Valdez?
Mm-hmm.
On paper, you would think Oscar was supposed to dog walk him. He whooped Oscar's ass too.
And the two fights against Isaac Dogbay, he beat the crap out of Dogbay. Now I'm gonna tell you something. The Dogbay experience is why he was able to handle dude last night so well. Because remember, Dogbay was very aggressive the first time they fought. He beat the aggression out of him by the second fight. He had him tamed. But he knew what to do against a shorter guy, more compact, short arms, strong and everything. But like I said before, and I've spoken about this when talking about doing fight breakdowns, you need to learn where the opponent's strengths happen to be, where his punches are most dangerous, where they're least effective. You need to be able to gauge the strength and the timing of the fighter. And that takes, sometimes when you know how to do it, it doesn't take a lot of rounds. You can do it in a couple of rounds. But when you don't do that and you're not practiced at that, you can spend a fight trying to figure a guy out. And it's not about figuring a guy out. It's about what I just said, where his strengths are, his punching. Because some guys, if they catch you at the end of their shots, that last final snap, pow, that can knock your head off. Some guys, they can hurt you by not getting that full extension. It's within a certain range. Boom, boom, they hit you good. Then other guys want you on the inside where they feel more comfortable and they can do things to you because that's where they feel great about themselves. That's Sebastian Fundora. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, but I'm even now, because you and I, we have conversations all the time. But notice how I'm speaking about this. These are technical things. How many coaches do you hear talking like that? You see what I'm saying? This is how I know when you hear me criticizing these guys, this is why I do so, because the coaching and the teaching and the training, that's not supposed to happen on fight night. That should have been happened and all during the prep leading up to fight night.
Right. Right.
And been a part of a formulated game plan. This guy was in trouble when he started professing to tell everybody who would listen how he looked up to Navarrete and thought of him as an idol and all of that kind of stuff, and never thought he would end up fighting him and this and that. I was like, oh boy, because that's not good. And I was watching the fight with the brothers behind the scenes yesterday, and I told them, I said, Navarrete is beating him at distance and range, mid-range. I said, but before this fight is over, he going to try to knock him out. And that's what Nunes don't understand. He don't know. Yeah, that dapping you up and hitting your gloves, giving you a pound and tapping gloves after every round and all of that shit. That's just, that
malarkey, man.
Yeah, it's conning you. Because his objective was to knock Nunes out. He just didn't say it. In other words, he showed him respect, but just because you don't say it don't mean you don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Navarrete was able to carry through. And another thing, I gave an example last night during my post-fight show, Sugar Ray Leonard and Terry Norris. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard fought Terry Norris. He said, I'll give him a shot. He's, young, up and coming, super welterweight, look good, got good hand speed, this and that, good boxer. But Terry Norris said that he idolized Ray Leonard coming up and watching him and everything. But when they fought, you wouldn't have never thought that because Terry Norris ripped into Sugar Ray's ass.
He
even when he knocked him down one time, he hit him while he was down. Remember, it was like Terry Norris was like he had a ghost switch that.
I idolize you, but I ain't trying to be a highlight reel. I'm not trying to be on one of those. Let's go to the videotape.
Dude,
I ain't trying to be that.
Terry Norris whooped the shit out of Sugar Ray Leonard, and that's what made him say, "Okay, I'm done. I'm retiring." But again, Terry had the right approach. He did. You can be the hero on the pages of the magazines and the books and all of that, but in the ring, I'm going to be the master maker here. And see, that's where Nunes, and to have that nickname Sugar, I'm just going to say it plainly. Listen, that's why a lot of guys, they criticize you. You got that name Sugar, you better be out there and not be shit. Because people will vilify you, and he's gonna take a emotional ass whooping from this situation, and one or two things are going to happen. He's gonna get better, or he really gonna fall off. We just gotta wait and see which one it is, because he should have done better in that fight. But they had the wrong game plan. That when I saw him moving around and moving away, I was like, you cannot win this fight like that. And he did that shit for like 5 rounds. That's 5 rounds to Navarrete already, who is a fighter who can knock your ass out. So that means now you got to kind of switch things up. And he know you're going to come. And then now you fall him even more into his trap. It's like he would have been better off jumping on Navarrete early in the fight, like Mike Tyson would come out. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Man, these guys, I tell you something, bro, is watching them and their lack of preparation and stuff like that. It's amazing to see that some certain people are not at their best. That fight with Jordan Martinez and Arturo Cardenas, dude, Martinez won that fight, bro.
I think so.
And then at the end, when they showed the punch stats, like punches thrown, they lied. It's like there's no way that Cardenas threw that many punches because it was Martinez who was busy. And I'm like, what are they? You could tell just then. And I even said this in the post-fight as well. Even with like 3 rounds to go, Robert Garcia was telling Cardenas, he's like, you need a knockout to win. Now, if Robert is saying that, he's fucking behind.
Real talk. Real talk. I don't know how they not. I don't get it, man. If we can see it from the house, I mean, how they not seeing this?
You know what that is?
This is what happens when you lie to the people in your camp, man. Oh, my God. This rabbit hole is so deep, man. So deep.
You know what that is? They can't help but give guys, like, help that they don't fucking need. I said this in my post-fight show last night. Cardenas come out of that fight. He was so arrogant, he didn't even want to touch gloves with the guy after the fight was over. Dude, you lost. And the best thing in the world for the officials to do was to give him his loss, because that will make his ass go back to the drawing board and he'll be better as a result of it coming out. He's like, damn. But when you do this kind of thing and you get those home field decisions, which it really wasn't, because Martinez was in his hometown, that was Phoenix or whatever, but the whole point was they sunned Martinez. Just because he wasn't well known and everything, he was like a guy who this was his big opportunity. Okay, give him his victory. He earned it. You may gain a new star in the sport off of doing that. But by giving Cardenas the decision and everything, dude, it was like a slap to the face of like the reality of this sport, the corruption. This is why Dana White, this is why Turkey Al-Sheikh, this is why all of this stuff is coming on strong, because
and people still don't get it, so they don't get it. We are victims. I'm talking about these, in the sport of boxing. Guys like you and I, Coach Hudson, 78, we all saying, hey, man, this is what we deserve. The other cat said that you to the old regime are saying, well, why is this happening? You don't realize it's because of you. Y'all did this. This is what happens when you let inmates run the asylum. Everything is crazy. But you've been so conditioned to the crazy that you don't know that it's bad for you.
right.
You don't know it's bad for you. You don't know you've been on poison this whole time. It's normalized to get robbed. It's normalized for the managers to make more than the fighters. It's normalized for the promoters to make more than the fighters. That's become normalized. And we've been saying that all of this crap is abnormal. But they're going to find out now. Shout out to Zuka. I love it. They're going to find out.
Yeah. and you know, you look at like what De La Hoya is doing and holding up the fight with Ortiz and Boots. Listen, I can see if Ortiz, like Canelo, didn't want to fight certain guys. But that's not the case. Ortiz wants the fight. Let the man fight. He may show himself to have the just on having the resolve of wanting the fight. He might fight better as a result of getting what he wants. And Boots might not match that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because you don't know. We think things can go this way or that way, but those are the intangibles that our dearly departed brother Curtis Anderson used to say. Kurt Sugar used to say that all the time. It's the intangibles. A guy that wants smoke, Devin Haney, he wants it. These other guys that don't want it, when you're not matching the energy like that, what that's telling me is there is some doubt in the person that's not matching it, and you have to put them in a position where they can gain the confidence. And if it's not up to snuff, then at least you know what you got to work on when you go back to the gym.
Yeah.
But it's better than going out there and then someone that you didn't expect take things away from you. Like that kid last night, Martinez, the only thing he was missing was that he wasn't able to set down on his punches to try to get Cardenas out of there. And I can understand why, because most of the opposition that he had fought up to that point, he was able to get rid of. But this was a step up in class for him. Remember, that was supposed to be an easy fight for Cardenas, but it wasn't. And the guy didn't know what it meant to lay down. So he came and fought hard. You reward people for behavior like that. That's what the fans want to see.
And they appreciate it.
Yes.
But the system has its mind made up, and that will always drive me crazy. Always.
Absolutely. And it's so unfair, man, because remember, when the decisions don't go right, I mean, because there are fights when decisions are close and one guy can edge it over another. But there are too many of these scenarios where the guy who was supposed to be the opponent has shown up and showed out, and they hurt him by not giving him his just due. That's what I don't like, because you work hard, you toil in these gyms, you travel, and you're away from your family and your children and things of that nature, and it's like, where is the payoff?
Payoff.
Yeah.
Payoff. The payoff. The judges, the refs, didn't pay off. Man, wait till I tell you. I'm trying, because I got some things I got to do. I'm trying to call you before the show tonight. Bro, you got, my God, bro. My God. Boxing, man, this is a dirtbag, scumball business, man. And we saw a bit of it last night, and the conversation I had this morning with Elijah, I'm like, oh, man, really? If more things change, more things stay the same, man.
That's like Emiliano. He ran into a whirlwind last night. Vargas, he ran into a whirlwind last night.
Well, we should have known the kid was Argentinian. We should have known.
Well, not just that. Remember, in the first round, he leaped out there with his speed and his strength and power that he has early in the fight, and he tried to gain the advantage over, what's the young man's name? Quintana last night. And what happened was, once Quintana, felt that on everything, he's like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with now. You know what I'm saying? And he made a slight adjustment, which is why in round 2, I gave him round 2, Quintana, because he came back and he fought differently in the second round. And then it became then it became a thing where Vargas was like, okay, I'm in a fight now. But there's something that took place in that fight that I don't like the announcers not saying. Now, Mora said something, but it wasn't in light of what I'm about to say. Vargas is a dirty fighter. He went to headbutting when the Argentine was hanging with him, and he was spearing with his head. The crown of his head, he was spearing with it. And he was doing it when the ref was on the opposite side sometimes. Sometimes the ref was right there and saw everything. But he never admonished Vargas for it, never took a point or anything. And that guy ended up busted up because of the spearing of the head with Vargas. It wasn't the punches. It wasn't.
And he kept blowing his nose. That didn't help either. It wasn't the punches at all.
And this is the final part that lets you know that Quintana showed up in a way that they didn't like. He had never been stopped. The referee stops the fight in the last round. He stops it before he didn't let the guy come out for the fight.
We've seen far worse.
Yeah.
You remember David Reed's eye?
Oh, yeah.
He got the knockout?
You remember Tyson Fury's eye against Otto Wallin?
Yes.
He
Yeah,
bled like
come
he
on,
was
bro.
a stuck pig. You know?
Come on, bro.
But
Come
this
on,
is what
bro.
I'm saying.
Come on,
He
bro.
done made it to the 10th and final round. They only wanted to give Vargas a stoppage victory. That is one of the things. He was winning the fight, yes, Vargas. Decision win. But it looks better on your record when it's a TKO stoppage. And that is unfair to Quintana because Quintana was still able to go on. Unlike Nunez, whose eye was completely shut. His situation was different. But Quintana deserved the right to go out on his shield and get lucky in the 10th round and final round. They took that away from him. I don't like that kind of stuff, man. It is ridiculous. But see, this is the thing. This is the thing. Now, no, am I against Emilio Vargas? No. But I can say what's actually happening because I don't have a dog in the race. It's like I'm telling you, I talked about Katie Taylor with her headbutts. I've talked about Josh Warrington with his headbutts. You know what I'm saying? I say what needs to be said. It's not a matter of like pumping up for someone. I want a fair and just sport where only the fight is decided on these guys mixing it up and blending. Not by officials getting in the way, referees taking points, referees stopping fights too early and then letting other shit go too late. Come on, man.
Speaking of which, sidebar real quick. Well, I actually got to run, but let me ask you a question. You know how the refs come to the locker rooms and give you instructions? You ever heard of a ref telling you there will be no standing 8 count in this match? You ever heard of that at all?
No. I haven't heard.
It happened last night, brother. I'm gonna try and hit you up before the night, bro. I gotta run. Man, great show. Man, keep cooking. I'll be in the chat.
What was that?
I said, yeah. I gotta run. I said, keep cooking. I'm gonna be in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit you before the live tonight.
Okay, man. All right. Be
All
safe
right,
out
brother.
there. All right. Later.
All right, later.
Great call by the brother Drew Titan. Yeah. Lines are open once again. Anybody want to call in and let's talk about our beloved sport of boxing, man. Yeah. We had a couple more people come into the building. Macadus Mac of the South. See you out there. Snoopy Mac. What's good with you? Mahari Nation Sports Podcast in the building. Who else we got? Harris Ford 97. What's up? Jonathan Simon, what's good? The Village Brother. Yeah, buddy. Let's do some calls, guys. Let's do some calls. Clarence McLean, you still out there? Got some fights coming up. Let me see if I can. Oh boy. So you guys are not up for conversation? Jonathan Simon, why don't you call in? I ain't heard from you in a minute. We got 951 calling. Who's calling? What's on your mind? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Sensei?
What's happening?
Not much. Yeah, I'm seeing that nobody is kind of scared that I get call you. Well, call it up. But I did have a question for last week. I'm trying to remember what it was. I know how Ryan Garcia finally got the championship, so I know he got 3 options. And I did see on Devin Haney's Instagram that I guess that's supposed to be the next fight, but I always thought that the next fight for Ryan Garcia was going to from the videos from the film, supposed to be Conor Ben, or it's going to be Shakur Stevenson.
They may try to make a fight with him and Stevenson, but it's really contingent on what Ryan can get away with. He was able to get away with some things against Barrios. Shakur is going to ask him for testing and, keeping certain things on the level and everything. They'll probably try to go in a different direction with Ryan. They'll say and act like they want him to fight these guys, but they're going to give him a couple of pushovers. That's typically how it goes.
I agree with that.
Huh?
I agree with that. I agree with you saying.
Yeah.
I think the only one I wouldn't mind him fighting was Conor Ben, because they're 2 drug cheats, so guess who the best drug cheat is? But I'm always kind of confused. I see it on Devin Haney's Instagram, so I'm a little bit more confused with it. Okay, is that for the next fight, or this one, or this one?
Well, Devin is being Devin is being frozen out. Conor Ben is a guy, he's kind of like the UK's Ryan Garcia. He's been walking that thin line between law and order, and for whatever reason, that seems to sell to some of these people, but it's not in the best interest in the sport overall. But listen, they're going to have Conor Ben fight Regis Prograis at 150 pounds. Regis ain't never fought that high, and Conor Ben has been fighting well over welterweight for the past few years. They're playing these games, man, and because that's going to be a Zuffa fight, it's okay because Zuffa will have, I don't know if it's kicked in yet because this fight is going to be at 150, but their fights are going to be within the 8 weight class realm. So 150 is not the weight for them to compete. It should be 147 or 160, But it's yet to be determined when Zuffa is going to put down the discipline clamps on their fighters as a result of that. That's probably why they're trying to get it in now, because they won't be able to do it down the line.
That makes a lot of sense. I would not mind that fight, Rich Prograis versus Conor Ben, because even though he just had nothing to say since he fought that Haney, he was elusive.
Well, the reason for that also happens to be, you know, he ridiculed Devin quite a bit.
I agree.
They talked about Devin being a schoolboy and all of that kind of stuff. Some things you could say, you know, when you're hyping up a fight and everything, and then there are other things that are very telling on your personal feelings or thoughts about the individual. Now, one thing that's common about all of these guys that got negative stuff to say to the press and, you know, social media and everything about Devin, one of the things that's very aligned and consistent with what they say is that Devin is not of their ilk, not like them, not what, and he's not. But they don't want to acknowledge the work that he has put in and the talent that has been cultivated. When that promotion with Regis talked a lot of crap, and so did that so-called trainer that was working with him, and he was on the canvas in a couple of rounds. You know what I'm saying? Just like Brian Norman Jr. That kind of stuff happens when you have not studied your craft, when you don't, because the lip service. Everybody thinks talking is the thing to do. Sometimes silence is golden. Evander Holyfield was my favorite fighter, but one thing I really liked about him was he didn't talk. He just kind of stood there with a stoic look on his face and everything a lot of times. He didn't talk. He didn't tell people what he was going to do to them and all of that stuff. He did not talk. He would just let things play out.
And he was learning.
Now that he's older and retired, he'll talk up a storm now. It's like, you know, but during his heyday of fighting, he let his fists do the talking. And those are the fighters I like the most. They let their fists do the talking. It's nice to have a colorful guy to come along every once in a while, like a Ali who can talk stuff and get a press stuff to write. But being disrespectful of your opponent and condemning them and all of that is not a good look, and it's not going to help and benefit you at the end of the day. But you got a lot of guys who do these things.
That's true. But it's interesting, I guess you said, catch-weight for Reed and Bruce, because I remember Bruce was talking about that he can't make 47, but he can make 150.
Yep. So
yeah, that's quite interesting.
But hey, what about this fight that's coming up next weekend? What do you think? Opataya on Zuffa 4 taking on Brandon Glanton. That's a good fight.
That is a good fight. I know Opataya, but I don't know if you know his opponent that well, so I'm going to look up some of his fights and get a better idea, to have a better opinion on each fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I get you said I'm still honest, but, you know.
No. You know what? The thing is, bro, this is how I look at it. This is one of the reasons why I do my premieres and breakdown videos. That's to help you guys. This is why I can do that much, but I can't make people watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I done half the work. Somebody else could do the rest. You know?
Like how you broke down the Carnelo, Brook's last 6 fights were, and Carnelo's last 6 fights, to have a better idea, like, oh, out of these 2 fighters, who's going to win? And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, pretty much. And, maybe like watching 1 or 2 of their fights, it might be their best fight they fought, and you still don't have that much of a good idea. Yeah, so I like to get a little bit more thorough with it now.
Yeah.
To be honest. But I guess my honest opinion, I think he's good for fire. But yeah, I gotta look at. I just gotta research the phone a little bit more to be honest.
Well, I know that the public is kind of being a little more what's the word I'm looking for? They're being disregarding of Opataya, but that's because of some of the influences that are coming from people with channels and content creators. Opataya is dangerous, man, because he's got desire and ambition behind good fighting prowess. Guys like that will always be dangerous. But if you notice, nobody's lining up to fight him. They want to talk about, oh, he ain't fighting nobody. He ain't this, he ain't that. Well, get in the ring with him. If you somebody, get in the ring with him.
So basically, they try to face about like they try to see Devin.
Yeah. I said that there's like a handful of fighters in this sport that are suffering from that type of mindset of their contemporaries. Opataya is one. Benavidez is another. Of course, we got Devin. Abdullah Mason is one. Oshaki Foster is one. You know, that's like 5 guys right there, and they're spread out through different weight divisions. So when you think about all these badass dudes that tell you 8 ways from Sunday that they're the best and they can take on anyone, and they want to unify and they want to be undisputed, and then why they not doing it? Their opportunity is right there. It's because there's somebody in the way that they are not confident that they can get in there and defeat. Devin is not worried about confidence. Devin is worried about getting in there and fighting. When you know you can fight, you're confident.
I agree. I 100%.
I want to take a quick moment and acknowledge a brother that gave me a Cash App donation, TD Productions.
Okay.
He says, good show. I couldn't call today, but listening. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the donation to the channel. Yeah.
But I mean, it does make you think, like, how you grew up in, knowing about boxing. I know you got better, back more knowledge of it than I do, and you got more experience of the fights and all that. I know back in your days, a pilot fight, he's ready to fight down fight whatever, and how it is now. Everybody's really scared of basically lose their undefeated record and all that. It's slightly annoying.
It is. And you know what's really weird too? They do this, and they on one hand they telling you how good they are, and they want to blame social media and this and that, but they're the ones going on social media saying stuff all the time. It's like, dude, like Shakur Stevenson. I want to say this, and I'm just going to say it as plain and succinct as I can. You're being celebrated for beating Teofimo Lopez, bro. That's nothing. Nothing. Nobody should be celebrating you for beating that dude. What they should celebrate is that he finally got in the ring with one of the top fighters of his era. He's not a top fighter, Teofimo, but Shakur is. But but I have to think that Teo understood that Shakur wasn't going to knock him out. Whereas some of the other guys that he could have picked may be a guy who would go for a knockout against him. See, Shakur is content with just winning rounds and putting rounds in the bank and stuff like that, which is going to be his downfall, because sometimes you have to engage and impose yourself and do things not just against a fighter that you are 20% ratio over, that he doesn't have a chance to beat you. You need to get in there and show the people what you have to offer. And that's something that Shakur is hesitant to do. But he'll tell anybody who'll listen how good he is. You know?
I agree with that 100%.
I got a guy that he should be fighting, but he ain't going to fight him. And he been avoiding this man for a number of years. And that's O'Shaquie Foster. O'Shaquie wants Shakur. He wants him. And Shakur don't even mention his name. It's like Shakur never heard that name before.
Yeah. I feel a few O'Shaquie Fosters fight. That man got dog. He was going to go.
Yeah. And he's not afraid to take on opposition. If you say you're the best or you think you are or whatever, he want to test you. There's nothing wrong with that.
I agree. I agree with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. You should want. It's like, man, okay. In the NBA, everybody knew Michael Jordan during his day was the man or whatever. But Michael had certain ball players that he looked at on the opposite end of the court, and he went after those guys. He wanted to compete against those guys. He wasn't like LeBron talking about, hey, let's join up and create a super team. What?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think most super teams really don't do that well either. And there's two losses that they should have won with the team, with the players they had, but yeah, they was the first team to really just lose the whole, like, the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what the team stuff. Yeah, not the best pick.
Yeah.
I think one of the best, for basketball, the best super pick that I see was when the Lakers had Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaq, Kobe. I'm trying to think of the last player they had. It was just a super five, but yeah, they lost to Detroit Pistons. The five was like, man, and they lost too easy. They only got one win.
Yeah, that's because, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. That was how things were going to be spread. You know, it's like you look at all that talent and you say, wow, you know, this should be a shoe-in for the title. But because they do it for money, it's because, you know, they get the sentiment of the people, and next thing you know, it's a major upset.
Yeah, I thought I was really upset about it. Hey, but I mean, defense was Detroit's best area, so I'm like, man, their defense was impeccable that year.
Yeah. They were good.
Yeah.
They were very good.
I think it was a little too good. So I ain't gonna lie. I can't complain about it. I mean, to the history looking down. And that's how I remember Michael Jordan, like, he worked on the defense first before he worked on his offense. And I think that's what made him more of a, like, basically the multi-league player. Was his defense. So I agree with Sensei on that. That's really all I had, though.
I'm trying to think, man. There is another fight on the horizon. Oh, the Moses Atuma fight with Jermaine Franklin. That's going to be coming up soon, sometime in March.
That's a 50-50 fight to be right there.
Very well could be, especially if Franklin just comes in shape. He needs to come into the fight in shape. Franklin needs to be in shape. He's 6'4", I think 6'4", something like that. But he's been coming in over 250 pounds. If he could come in 240 or 235, that's a very good weight for him. And
I'll probably go with about 220 or 225.
Oh, if he got down to 220, 225, that is excellent. But I'm trying to cut him some slack. You understand? Because that's what I would prefer to see him. And I'd like to see him cut that mess out of his head, too. Yeah. Cut that mess out your head, man. Be a man. Come in there and be looking like you're about business and ready to go.
I agree. Somebody really asked for a ride? That's funny.
Huh?
Somebody maybe, you know how like back in the day they'll put their thumb up for a ride to try to hit a ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some fool right there trying to do that to me like that. Nah. I'm like, this is the wrong time. I'm taking head to my next pick-up road. Yeah, I ain't picking up nobody right now.
Yeah, no hitchhikers, man.
Yep.
No hitchhikers. Well, yeah, go ahead.
You like the early 1900s and all that, yeah, but hell nah.
Yeah. Go ahead and give us some final thoughts, bro, because I got to close the show out.
Well, this is my favorite day of the week. Answering them, you get to ask questions, every time I try to, listen to everybody's, different opinions and opposition on the fight and all that, and their point of views. It's always phenomenal because, I just learn a whole lot more, and, your knowledge and wisdom is, greatly appreciated today. So that's my statement.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. You're always supporting around here. We need that help, man. But
I do what I can, okay.
Yeah. But we're gonna get ready to get on out of here because I gotta give me some lunch, man. I'm feeling a little weak. Gotta give me something to eat, so.
Okay.
Okay. You take it easy.
I will.
All right. Peace to you. All righty. It's coming to the end of another show. What should be for lunch? Thinking about eating now. Oh yeah. We had a lot of people out there today, man. Just not a lot of callers. But I'm gonna get ready to get on out here, people. Lunch is calling me. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. We'll catch you guys on next Sunday. Tune in. We got Strong House show tonight with Drew Titan. We'll catch you guys then. Peace. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We out of here.